Photo by Christian Petersen, Getty Images. It's been a while since the Chicago Cubs broke camp as an underdog in any sense of the word. Really, you have to go back to 2015, when Jon Lester and Joe Maddon headed to Arizona for spring training for the first time, and it seemed like things were finally trending in the right direction after a half-decade of rebuilding under Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer. Of course, that campaign culminated in a postseason run that lasted all the way till the NLCS, Maddon winning National League Manager of the Year, Kris Bryant's Rookie of the Year performance, and Jake Arrieta taking home NL Cy Young honors after one of the most statistically impressive second halves in baseball history. That season marked what many believed to be the start of a dynastic run on the north side of Chicago. Those beliefs ballooned the following year when Maddon led the Cubs to their first World Series title since 1908. Bryant won National League MVP, and the rest, as they say, is history. But then, a World Series hangover dominated headlines in 2017. Chicago stumbled out of the gate, never finding any semblance of a rhythm in the first half, heading into the All-Star break 2 games under .500. Of course, the club rebounded behind a scorching hot second half, including a 19-9 month of September, to win a second consecutive NL Central crown. After somehow getting past the Washington Nationals in the NLDS, the Cubs looked completely overmatched by the Los Angeles Dodgers in the League Championship Series, and their bid to repeat as World Series champs ended early. Next, turning the page on a disappointing campaign. Page 2, photo by Ethan Miller, Getty Images. There's no point getting into how last season went. We've talked about it on end for the last 4 months. An offense that broke in the second half, a late-season surge by the Milwaukee Brewers, and a wild-card game loss to the Colorado Rockies. That's about all you need to know when talking about the 2018 rendition of the Chicago Cubs. So, it stands to reason that folks are skeptical of the club heading into this season. Ownership pulled the purse strings tighter than ever before, the front office relied on bargain shopping, and fans' early off-season optimism quickly faded away as the team was mired in bad headline after bad headline. And then, to cap it all off, PECOTA projections tabbed the Cubs to finish 5th in the division this year, at 80-82. But the guys in the clubhouse aren't worried. In fact, they're feeding off the underdog label we thought they had shunned, and, instead, are embracing it wholeheartedly. Why shouldn't they? What are they supposed to do? Roll over and play dead? No. Not this team. If anything, they're doing exactly what I, as a fan, want to see. They know they dropped the ball last season. Guys like Bryant, Lester, or 2018 NL MVP runner-up Javier Baez know that things have changed and expectations are different now. And they're ready to meet them again in 2019. Next, can this core rediscover its fiery competitive nature? Page 3, photo by Norm Hall, Getty Images. We're looking at an offense that, top to bottom, has the potential to rank among the best in baseball. Despite last season's offensive implosion in the second half, Chicago ranked 4th in the NL in runs scored 761, 2nd in on-base percentage, .333, and 1st in batting average, .258, more from Cubbies. Baez put up the best numbers of his career. Anthony Rizzo rebounded to eclipse 100 RBI for the 4th consecutive campaign, a first for a Cubs left-handed hitter. And that's not to mention the fact that guys like Kyle Schwarber, Ian Happ, and Wilson Contreras all struggled in a big way down the stretch. What I'm saying is this: the pieces are there. Chicago heads into 2019 with a loaded rotation. Granted, 2 of the guys are north of 35 years old, and the X-Factor, Yu Darvish, made just 8 starts last year, but there's no disputing the talent in this group. Lester is the grizzled veteran of the staff, joined by fellow Southpaw Cole Hamels, who came back via a $20 million team option this offseason. Add Darvish, the perennially underrated Kyle Hendricks, and Southpaw Jose Quintana, and you have a more than capable big league rotation. Really, the only question is the Chicago bullpen, and, given their financial limitations, Epstein and Hoyer did everything in their power to shore up that group with a bevy of veteran additions, most notably Brad Brach, Tony Barnett, and Xavier Cheteno. That's not to mention Junichi Tazawa, George Contos, Colin Ray, and the rest of the guys the Cubs added this winter. Next, could Nola Severino extensions impact the Cubs? Want your voice heard? Join the Cubbies crib team. Write for us. I'm not saying the Chicago Cubs are going to go out and win 100 games. They very well could, but here's what matters. This isn't a .500 team. It's a club constructed to win a lot and make a deep postseason push. So take a deep breath, put the off-season behind you and get ready for another exciting season from the Northsiders. Page 4. The 2019 season is a huge one for several Chicago Cubs. In a season where a lot of our young stars didn't take as big of a step in their development as we hoped, this upcoming season is crucial for players like Albert Almora, Kyle Schwarber, and Ian Happ to take that next step. In a crowded outfield, Schwarber doesn't seem to be moving in left, and Almora has shown that he can be the man out in center field. With Jason Hayward in right, Happ needs to find his fit with this Cubs team. With his switch-hitting abilities and flexibility to play both infield and outfield, Ben Zobrist is the perfect role model for Happ. As we head into the 2019 season, having Happ model Zobrist would be the right move for the Cubs in the present and the future. More from Cubbies Creep as Zobrist heads into his 14th season at 37 years old. There's no doubt in my mind that he's got a couple of solid seasons left in him. Watching him bat .305 with an ops of .817 in 2018 helps that case. If Zobrist has shown the Cubs one thing, it's that there's so much value and necessity to have versatility in the field and behind the plate. While Zobrist is around, the Cubs would be smart to groom a predecessor for the World Series MVP. Happ is the perfect fit for this role. Happ was selected 9th overall in the 2015 draft and has shown the potential of stardom. In 2 seasons in Chicago, Happ has batted .242 with an ops of .801. When Happ was drafted, he talked about his comfortability in both the outfield and at second base. In his first 2 seasons, we haven't seen much of Happ in the infield, and that needs to change in 2019. In an infield with so much uncertainty about who will end up being Javier Baez's middle infield partner in crime, Happ has the potential and needs an opportunity. Sure, Zobrist will do great things for this infield, but at his age, we've seen that he's most productive when he's not an everyday player. I believe Happ has the makings of a Zobrist-type player, and having the opportunity to learn from the man himself would be huge. With talks about potentially trading Happ occurring this off-season, having a season where he shows what he means to this team is key. As I said earlier, Schwarber and Almora seem set in their outfield roles, with less flexibility to move around. Happ has an opportunity to take advantage of that, and become a staple for this team for years to come. While Zobrist has a similar player makeup to Happ, switch-hitting second baseman and outfielder, he possesses something that Happ doesn't. That's the ability to have patience at the plate. In 2018, Zobrist struck out just 60 times, while Happ was 5th in the NL with 167. With Happ under Zobrist's wing, helping him cut down on these numbers could be another step to Happ's development and success. Next, back when Catalina Island was the place to be for the Cubs. Want your voice heard? Join the Cubbies crib team. Write for us. I love the idea of Ian Happ as a utility man, and I think if Happ could enhance his versatility in 2019, it would almost feel like an off-season acquisition to this team. Ian's got a lot to prove, but with someone like Zobrist to look up to, there's an opportunity for him to become a special player.